You told me I got to prepare, so I'm preparing. I'm this country boy, I'm not that smart. And he's that preacher, he's a smart man, wear these nice suits. So he's gonna show up and embarrass me at the debate October the 14th. And I'm just waiting, I'll show up and I'm gonna do my best.
Sorry, I should have done a trigger warning before showing the Herschel Walker videos. That's my bad. But his debate with Senator Raphael Warnock is rapidly approaching, and he's conducting press conferences a lot. And we at the Watchlist believe this is to lower expectations for the debate, which is an interesting strategy. But since Republicans don't run on policy platforms, we're not going to hear about that. Instead, Herschel Walker is pushing his personal policy, which is to claim that Raphael Warnock over and over has been avoiding this debate. Let's watch.
You have not agreed to do debates before this one. So you mentioned Senator Warnock, you had to get him to do this one, but he couldn't get you to do other.
That's not true. That is totally not true. Wait, you got to answer the question. Don't tell a lie. Don't tell a lie. No, I know the question you're gonna ask. I haven't agreed to do his debate because his debate wasn't a fair debate, and it's not good to do a fair debate. A fair debate is do it in front of the voters. He made every excuse not to show up. He was making every excuse not to show up. I begged him until I chased him down, and then he decided he was gonna show up on October the 14th, so all you be there. October the 14th, he's gonna show up and we're gonna debate, and we're gonna see whether he wants to debate if he shows up. Right now, I don't think he's showing up because he don't want to talk about the issues. You know that.
All right, let's go through this again. So, Savannah Morning News, a spokesperson with the Warnock campaign responded by saying the Republican nominee was sent an invite over the summer. Shortly after the May 2022 primary, Reverend Warnock was the first to announce that he would participate in 3 debates, and in June, named the 3 debates he agreed to and invited Walker to do the same. For nearly 2 months, Walker continued to dodge committing to any debate, a complete reversal from his previous statement that Warnock could call the time, make the place, I'm ready to go. Then Walker went out of his way to accept a totally different debate than the 3 that Reverend Warnock had accepted. In what was maybe a preview of Walker's debate prep, the press conference that came after he toured the Port of Savannah, which somehow led him to connect the money it brings in to complain about the IRS and the new funds going to IRS workers, and said they were hiring agents to work there instead. Let's watch this.
One of the things I learned that is very interesting, this port is generated, the second largest generator in the country of money, and yet we wanted to hire 87,000 IRS agents. And I'm going, wait a minute, if they're generating revenue, second largest generator in the country is here, do you not think we ought to take maybe 4,000 of those IRS agents and put them here on the port? That still leaves them 83,000. I can count 83,000, and then maybe we should take maybe 3,000 and put them in the school, because there's about 3,500 public schools. Put one of them in each school, a police officer, and that still leave them 80,000. And maybe we should start trying to put resources that solve problems.
Listen, I support a public option for work. I support well-paid public employees. However, I also know that there were $94.8 billion that Jeff Bezos gained between 2024 and 2017 that went unreported, and we absolutely need those IRS agents working in the IRS to ensure the wealthy pay their fair share in taxes. He's saying the IRS agents should instead work at the port, that's a better use of their labor, or maybe as police officers or in schools. And let's zoom in on this. I want to point out that the people standing around Walker are just as confused as he apparently is.
If they're generating revenue, second largest generator in the country is here, do you not think we ought to take maybe 4,000 of those IRS agents and put them here on the port? That still leaves them 83,000. I can count 83,000. And then maybe we should take maybe 3,000 and put them in the school, because there's about 3,500 public schools. Put one of them in each school, a police officer.
I'm just picturing the IRS agents showing up in their suits with their briefcases to go work at the port. Yeah, makes sense. Waz, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm starting to think that Herschel Walker might be crazy like a fox, honestly. This low expectation game that he's playing may actually work out to his benefit because he looks completely out of his depth and just lost here. But the polls show that he's neck and neck with Warnock somehow. And I think, during that previous runoff or special election or whatever it was in Georgia when Warnock got elected, these guys could actually run on an issue. They promised to get $2,000 in Georgians' hands if they made it into the federal government. Of course, the Democrats ended up stiffing the people on 600 of that 2,000, but that's neither here nor there. They don't really have that this go around, right? They don't have this one actual tangible issue to go on. And it feels like Herschel Walker has an understanding of how to speak to these people's hearts rather than their heads, which is what it seems like. Every time he opens his mouth, it's just a comedy routine, but he's right in the race, so he must be tapped into something, Jess.
Yeah, we can't talk about that Georgia runoff without talking about those checks. I was living just outside of Savannah, helping get Ossoff and Warnock elected. I was working for People's Action, which is not affiliated with the campaigns. It's a little bit more progressive, but $2,000 checks were necessary. We needed to pass huge relief. And then immediately after they got into office, our efforts turned into a fight to actually get those checks after getting them in there. So we can't talk about this without talking about that.